Our interviewer is going to be Duane Lowe. So Duane is an absolute story specialist. She's a former producer and TV talk show host, and she's now the CEO of What a Life Productions. What a Life Productions helps individuals and organizations share their stories through video. And really what she does is help rescue stories, help preserve them so that they can last. So Duane Lowe is going to be our interviewer, and Duane is going to be interviewing three ladies about their decision about finding their purpose and making the decision to commit to living their purpose. We'll have Lara Kirkpatrick. So Lara decided to go back to medical school as a mature student to fulfill on her deep-seated desire to be a doctor. Danielle Camo is fulfilling her purpose by integrating economic activity with cultural sensitivity. And my dear friend Jenny Kierstead, who is a yoga teacher, a mentor, and the founder of Breathing Space Yoga Studio. So I'd like to welcome Duane, Lara, Danielle, and Jenny to the stage.
I'm going to be interviewing these wonderful women who have all of these incredible stories, one-on-one. And we're going to start off with Lara. Morning. Lara, you've got an incredible story. Beginning with how you realized your purpose, really. What happened? What did it take for you to find your purpose or your mission in life?
It's not something that's necessarily brand new to me. When I was a kid, I always thought I would be a doctor. What is new to me is that I thought when that didn't happen in my 20s that I had to give up on that dream. Unfortunately, my husband was injured, while working in Afghanistan. It was a struggle for us. He had some physical injuries as well as other injuries, and we had a lot of challenges that came from that. So dealing with the medical professionals that we were dealing with really sort of reawakened my interest in medicine. I've always been interested in health and wellness, and I was in a position where all of a sudden he needed a lot more help, and I wanted to be able to provide that. And it also made me realize that I wanted to be able to provide that to other people as well. So it really solidified that need to be helping people and realizing that it's not too late. I just had to figure out how to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Did it come to you, so it didn't come to you as an epiphany or anything like that. This had been building inside you for some time.
It had. Like I said, I've always been interested in health and wellness, so even if that wasn't my main job, it was always part of me. I teach fitness classes, I coach, I teach dance. So that's something that has always been an interest. It's not something that I thought in my 40s I could start a new career in, until, like I said, we were in a situation where it became a big factor in our lives, and I realized that, there's no reason why I can't go out and fulfill my purpose. That is my purpose, is to help.
Okay, and how are you going to help what? How are you going to help? You're going to become a doctor.
I am, yes. So I've been accepted to a medical school, so at 46 I will be starting my second life.
Was there something that helped you decide to do that? I noticed in your background that you have recognized something that is going to hit us like a fast-moving train very quickly, and that is the baby boomers, people getting older. And did that play a big role in your decision to go forward to get your...
It's definitely a factor. I mean, I have parents who are starting to get older. With all the doctor shortages, there are more elderly now than ever before with the baby boomers aging, and it's a demographic that's severely hit by doctor shortages. So that's something that I look just in my own family and think, okay, so I've got 90-some-year-old grandmothers who need extra care. I've got parents who are in their 70s who will start needing extra care. There are a lot of people who actually need that, and a lot of people who, you know, the 20-year-old kid who goes through medical school doesn't necessarily want to focus on that demographic. Whereas for somebody like me who has a little bit more life experience, who has a lot of older people in my life, that's somewhere that I see a real need, and I want to be able to help that group.
Did you get any resistance to your decision to go ahead with it?
I am the sort of person that the medical schools say I am an ideal candidate to be a doctor. I'm not necessarily the ideal candidate for a medical school. So they all want me to already be there. They don't necessarily want me to be the ones to train me. So in that case, it was a lot of extra work looking for ways that a non-traditional student could follow that path.
So it seems to me you're balancing two challenges now. You have the challenge of dealing with the things that have resulted as a result of your husband's injuries. Are these going to be ongoing for a while, do you think? Will you be dealing with these things for a while?
I will be, yeah. I mean, that's a challenge that we'll be facing for an indefinite amount of time. But I also have a lot of family support, so that obviously makes a big difference.
So what was your first step to move forward towards meeting your purpose?
Basically, I had to decide whether I actually wanted to be a student again and whether I thought I was capable of being a student again. So for me, the first step was taking courses. So going back, taking part-time courses while I was working, really seeing, am I still actually interested in the topic? I mean, I did sciences years ago, but after that I did education, so I had sort of switched fields. So taking those courses, preparing for MCATs was a big one, which is the medical college admission test. So that's a requirement for any medical school that you apply to. So needing to know for myself that not only was I capable of doing it, but that I was willing to do it, because I knew it would be a lot of hard work.
So you've been accepted to medical school?
I have.
Tell us about that.
I've been accepted at a school called SEBA, University School of Medicine. Unfortunately, I didn't get accepted at a Canadian school. I would love to go to a Canadian school, but again, as a non-traditional student, I needed to also apply to schools that were looking for a non-traditional student and willing to take into account life experience as well as education and test scores. So I'm quite excited. It's in the Caribbean, which people say, oh, that's kind of hard. It's not a typical resort island. It's teeny tiny, 5 square miles. The industry is the school. So, but it's an American-owned school. It has excellent accreditation, so it's accredited for all 50 states and Canada, so I could practice anywhere in North America, and I do want to come home. So that was a big factor for me, and I've talked to a ton of SEBA grads. The more people I speak with, the more I find people who graduated from SEBA and say the experience was wonderful, the education is first class.
Excellent. Now I understand that you have sort of a dual purpose in mind. Would you agree with that?
I would like to do family medicine, but I would
Yes.
also like to subspecialize in the elderly and geriatrics. Yeah, and I'd like to work in a rural area, so I know that's an area that's crying for doctors, although on paper, apparently according to the reports, they have enough. But speaking with the people who are actually in the communities, they really need, and I love rural communities, so I'd like to do family and geriatrics.
So tell us how you're going to get to med school. It's not inexpensive to do that, is it, Lara?
It isn't, especially when you're going out of the country to do that. I will get student loans, so SEBA, as I said, is an accredited school, so I do qualify for Canada and Nova Scotia student loans. But that doesn't cover everything. The tuition is on par with American schools, which is much higher than Canadian schools, so I started a crowdfunding campaign, and I'm looking at it as a sponsorship more than a donation, because for myself, I've committed to a pay-it-forward approach to my fundraising. So for every sponsorship that I get, I want to pay that forward either in volunteering time and once I'm established, money back to a fund.
And that's what I was headed for when I asked about the dual purpose. Because you want to help other people reach their goals, other women reach their goals too.
I do. Well, I want it to be more than just about me. And so I found some like-minded women who agree with that pay-it-forward attitude. So they've actually started a nonprofit society that I've already started volunteering for called Project Well, which stands for Women Empowered by Lifelong Learning. And as Eleanor was saying in her intro, 40% of women are the primary breadwinners, and a lot of times they need a little help with the educational component. They know they could do better with more education, can't necessarily afford either the tuition or associated costs like equipment. So the idea of Project Well is to help women with funding towards education with, again, that pay-it-forward attitude. So with the commitment to also volunteer time if their situation improves, to maybe donate some money back. But it creates a cycle of support.
So when does medical school start?
January
2015.
2015, yes. So 3 months and I'll be there.
And the fundraising is going well?
It is, yes. We're doing a big kickoff on October 21st. So if anybody would like information about that, please come see me. I'm happy to talk about that. We're doing a kickoff and art auction. It'll actually be here at the World Trade Center. And yeah, so that'll help me, and it'll also help other women as well.
Right. Well, we wish you all the luck in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.